Hi and welcome to this auto-emotional presentation for what is probably one of the most beautiful cars Peugeot have ever designed, and most definitely one of the most head-turning cars we've ever had the pleasure of appraising here and presenting on Auto-Emotional. This is of course the unmistakable, striking and absolutely drop-dead gorgeous Peugeot Rcz. This 2011 edition presented in gunmetal metallic with the chrome accents on the swooping double bubble glass roof, as well as a host of upgrades, has made this one of the most distinctive cars that we've ever had the pleasure of coming through our automotive stables. As you can see from the front of the vehicle, the nose badge has been treated to a black matte bespoke look. You've got the front parking sensors as well as the latest generation Cree LED headlights. These headlights are totally different to normal LEDs or normal xenon gas discharge headlights. As you can see, even in the daytime they give off a absolutely brilliant light, and the fog lights too are LED upgrades. From any angle really, this vehicle is not only seems as though it's actually moving, it just catches your eye in all the right places. The proportions of this vehicle are simply sublime. The 19-inch matte black alloys set this car off, as well as so many other features of the vehicle. You've got tyres on this car which look in absolutely fantastic condition. The integrated indicators into the wing mirror stalks, just lovely touches throughout. The power folding electric mirrors, which of course will all be demonstrated. We've got the car running just to demonstrate all the lights for you. You've also got the rear of this car, which really and truly is a bit hard to take your eyes off it. Lots of people go past the car and they don't even know what it is. You'll hear whispers of, oh, what is that? That's a Peugeot? Is that an Audi TT? Is that an R8? It's got a similar look and feel to it, yet this 1.6 litre engine drives like a 3.2 Quattro. It is unbelievable. Even in normal mode, and you do have the addition of sports and Triptronic mode, this particular car, it's a bit hard to convince people, unless they've actually driven or are driven in it, that it drives like a 3.2 Quattro. It handles so well due to the wide track and low stance, as well as that the 1.6 litre engine costs about 75 dirhams to fill and gives you nearly 450 kilometers on urban roads. It really is just an absolute pleasure to own and to drive and to appraise this car. The rear of the car having of course the twin exhaust, letting you know that there is something very special up there, the fog light and all the badging. As well as that, you can see the rear spoiler there, which you can lift and lower at the touch of a button. It's just had a brand new set of tints put on it. Opening the boot is a little button on the underside, another quirky little French tray. Every single light, including the interior cabin and boot light, have been upgraded to the LED style. You've got the luggage cross cover there, which really is quite handy actually, and allows you to store things without anything slipping. And that red handle that you can see there simply pulls towards you, and you can drop the back of the back seat down. And what that means is you've got a huge load capacity for a vehicle that has the same footprint as of course the R8 or the Audi TT. From any angle then, just a sublime vehicle to take a look at. Gorgeous car, it really is. There's only a few words that jump to mind when describing this vehicle, and gorgeous is obviously one of them. You've got the leather and white contrasting stitching throughout, the brushed aluminium door handles, the Peugeot kick sills. You've also got heated seats on both the passenger and the driver's electric seats, working flawlessly of course. Airbags galore, making this a super safe car. Lovely Peugeot crest in there, and the handle to move the seats forward is on the side, and you can squeeze two, be they small, children in the rear. And of course you can see that doubled-in touchscreen sat-nav that we will be coming down to. Of course, an auto-emotional prepared car, so you know that you're going to get something very, very special when you step inside this Peugeot, which we're going to do right now. That low-slung driving position makes for a cossetted ride, electric memory seats, of course, on a vehicle of this caliber and spec. You close the door and it becomes whisper quiet in the cabin, as the build quality really does shine through. The glass, of course, it's electric, and this will give you an idea of the level of tinting. It looks almost black from the outside, but it's 30% legal, no issues with the RTA there. And of course you've got the mirrors, that being the drivers, switch it across, and that being the passengers. And as mentioned previously, you simply pull this switch towards you and they power fold in. A very handy touch when you're parking and in tight spaces, and that does actually happen automatically when you lock the vehicle. The brushed chrome aluminium pedals, as you can see there, adjustable steering column, that lovely Rcz and that flat bottom steering wheel giving you such a, it's just the perfect grip on this steering wheel and makes for a wonderful, wonderful driving sensation. Lots of gadgets and toys, just 132,000 kilometers with full Peugeot service history. This vehicle was owned by someone who really could afford to take care of the car and lavished it as and when necessary. That beautiful 1.6 litre engine, it's got a real raspy engine note to it, and as you can see, free revving and above 4,000 revs, this thing just absolutely comes alive. You've also got cruise control, which can be set off the stalk. Simply touch it and the vehicle just glides along any of the wonderful roads we've got here in the UAE and makes for such a pleasurable drive. You've also got the toggle switch for the multimedia system, which we will of course get to. Adjustment for the headlight height, power adjustable steering with of course the airbag there for the driver and there for the passenger. And one of the best features of this vehicle is that clock. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way they just slapped it in the middle and said this is what time it is and it's time to go and enjoy this Peugeot. As well as that, you've also got the lead for your USB, which you can stick and it will play straight away, and the Peugeot book. Even the book itself is in portrait, and another French flair. You've got the service history, the warranty, and book, which as well as the user manual. Ice cold AC. Now of course you can't feel it, but you certainly can hear it. Believe me, this car stays on 1 to 2 knobs only. It's uber powerful and uber cold. Digital climate control, so both you and your passenger can have totally distinctive heating. And as well as that, don't forget you've also got the heated seats, bi-directional. Stunning gearbox. Not only do you have the normal drive, but you can also shift it across for manual, so obviously plus and minus, and that will engage accordingly. And there you can see on the binnacle it's moved to M1, which is manual, and by pushing it forward I've now engaged M2. You can even take off an M3 in this car, which is actually quite rare and a bit of a calling card on the gearbox itself. And of course shifting it back to D, and you can put it into S. So there it's D1, and now you've got a little S that pops up in the corner, letting you know it's now in sports. And of course that rear spoiler, which you could probably just about see, will now close down when I press this button. And you've got the armrest, which can slide according to whatever you fancy doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the vehicle around very slightly, just so that we get the shade covering this gorgeous sat-nav screen, so that you can see all the functions. There you go. now in park, and it's a huge screen, and by engaging reverse, of course, I now get the reversing camera pop up, and as well as that also the built-in parking sensors all fully operating. And on this vehicle itself, you've also then can go into so many options, audio, GPS, DVD, e-car, Bluetooth, SD card reader, USB 1, USB 2, CD changer, AV input, DVR, Bluetooth, TV and iPod inputs as well, calendar settings, system info, and you've even got games on the thing, but fully interactive. And not only that, you also have the option of controlling it off the stalk. So as I increase that, you'll see that the volume button is then increasing. So it's a vehicle that really is an absolute powerhouse of a car. Unbelievable that it's a 1.6. It drives like a 3.2, yet that gives you the looks, the performance and the economy, and that can't be a bad thing in a package that's wrapped up to basically look as though it is on a Parisian catwalk for automobiles. Absolute pleasure presenting this vehicle. We look forward to any questions, queries, test drives that are requested on this car, and we know the first person who gets in it is driving off in it. It really is that good, and it does not need any money spent on it. It's a beautiful car. 2011 Peugeot Rcz presented in gunmetal with black electric heated leather interior, double bubble glass roof, double din sat nav, upgraded Cree LED headlight, fog light, reversing light, number plate light, interior lights, and so much more. Beautiful car with full service history. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to close, and once again thank you for watching and taking the time to view this auto emotional presentation.